Hi, Laura. Sorry about that. It took me a while to get on.
No worries. Did I talk about everything that we needed to cover in the little housekeeping part while I kind of ramble?
I think so. Thank you. And we are really excited to be sharing all of our summer success hacks with you all today. It's definitely a crazy season, I would say, for many people. Just a lot going on.
Yes. And it can be sometimes overwhelming. We're seeing in our groups that people are getting off their schedules and they're not feeling like they can get back on track.
Totally.
And besides the fact that like we've had hurricanes, we've had fires, we've had horrible heat for people. So there's a lot of stuff going on. And first, it's okay, everyone. And we're gonna just kind of share with you what we found works for us, what works for people in our groups, and hopefully this will make you feel a little less like you can't beat the heat.
Totally. So why don't we break down, into our different meals, metabolics, things like that. I want to start off by talking about walking, because something I've struggled with, I think, in the heat is how do I get my walk in when it is so hot, even at like 8 a.m. in the morning? So what do you do, Laura? Do you have any tips in regards to that?
So what I personally do, and I used to live in Florida, and Bella's actually lived there too. And it would be really hot and it would rain a lot and it would be very hard. So I do try to make myself take a walk earlier in the day.
Yeah.
Also, if it's not raining or I have time in the afternoon, because it does stay lighter later. So like after dinner. But also lots of people do the eat more, exercise more approach in the summer because they can go outside more where they live. It's not too hot or things like that. Like if you're living somewhere like Minnesota, where you normally have snow and really cool temperatures, this is the time of year where you can really be out and being active and doing things. But if you're somewhere where it's really hot, like I actually do kind of more of some of the things you do in winter, which is I eat less and I exercise a little less and just give myself permission to know it's okay. And then if a day ends up being nicer and I get a longer walk in, then woohoo! Yeah.
I love that. And I also think in regards to exercise, taking advantage of the summer activities, even if it is hot, like swimming, in my opinion, is a really wonderful way. And even if you have kids, playing around with them in the pool and museums, there are a lot of things I think you can do just thinking out the box to get your exercise in and still be able to take that EM approach. But I love what you said about that, because it's so true. It's different climates for everyone and things change.
Yeah, and actually that's a really good point you brought up about being able to do certain, like your neat exercise and just your movement throughout the day. Because in the summer, my son and I probably do more activities, especially now that we're able to, I'm still being cautious with certain things we're doing because he is young, but going out and doing things more and all those little steps you take, all the times you kick a football or, I'm not kick a football, geez Louise, kick a soccer ball, you throw the football.
She's British.
Those add up and they count towards your daily movement too.
Yeah, so true. And so does laundry and things like that. So even, within your house in the nice cool AC, you can definitely get some movement in as well.
I actually have a question for you that you just brought up talking about the AC. So are there things that for finding success in the summertime, like is there anything we should know about with regards to air conditioning and how it interacts with our body? Or like I know, like for example, my mom with air conditioning, she's wearing like 50 million layers and it's acting like it's in winter time. Is there anything, or like just with healthy air in your house, like you should be checking for any of those kind of things you could talk about, Bella?
Yeah, I mean, just in regards to a healthy home, quickly, I definitely think summer is a really wonderful time to utilize the windows and letting some fresh air. And again, this all does depend where you live. If you're living somewhere like Florida, you probably don't want to open this windows. But if you live in the northern states, and obviously growing up in England, one thing we did in the summer, because it was so lovely outside, is let some of that fresh air in and really kind of give your house that nice filtration. Obviously, basic care of the house, changing your filters and things like that is really, really important. But yeah, I think letting fresh air in. There are certain house plants as well that can be really, really great for removing toxins from the air and just keeping your air quality really, really healthy, especially in the summer when it can get a little bit more muggy as well. I do think that it's important to keep your house cool if you live in a hot and damp climate, because mold illness is massive. So I think that's a really good point that you made, Laura. In general, don't skimp out on healthy home stuff, even if your schedule's a little bit busier. Still prioritize your health where you spend a lot of your time.
You don't think about it. Yeah, we do spend most of our time. I
So
mean,
much
even
time.
if you're traveling or doing things, you come home, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And you cook in your house.
You could. What about like eating in the summer? So a lot more people, some people grill, some people don't, but I think a lot more people too
Oh,
now with the world, like to go out and eat, especially if they've been,
yeah.
restaurants have been closed. Now they can sit outside, things like
Mm.
that. Do you want to talk a little bit about
Yeah,
navigating
definitely.
that?
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, I personally absolutely love summer in regards to the culinary experience that summer delivers. The produce is amazing, of course, at this time of the year. I mean, even just driving earlier this morning, you know, you drive past people on the road that have their fresh picked harvest ready to share. It's really an amazing time to eat. I think salads are your best friend in the summer, truly. And you know, we have the different S's, the salads, shakes, scrambles, all of those amazing things. But I think, you know, salads can be really fun and exciting at this time of year. You can put so much, you know, variety into them. Even things like blueberries, which, you know, are obviously delicious right now. If you haven't tried some blueberries at the moment, they are really, really good. But popping some blueberries into a salad and getting creative is a really wonderful way to, you know, enjoy, you know, a range of foods that are seasonal and really taking advantage of that. I would say, you know, like how you mentioned in regards to people's schedules are busier, so they're often eating out. There are also, I don't know about you, but there's a lot of, you know, now things are kind of on the shift back to normal. There are a lot of kind of holiday potlucks and get-togethers and grill outs, and obviously we just had 4th of July and things like that. And my biggest advice, you know, I have two main pieces to people who are feeling a little bit anxious about going to these events. Number one is bring your own dish. We actually had someone in MMC asking this morning if she's going to I think it was a South American themed potluck, and was wondering, you know, what could she bring? But I think it's really smart to make sure that, you know, you're bringing something that you can eat and is healthful and nourishing to your body. And therefore, you know, if you get there and you're panicking because it's just Doritos and queso, at least you know you have something that's really nourishing to you. And I think my other piece of advice for navigating busyness is when you are at home, drinking a protein shake before you go out, just a naked shake, which is essentially just, you know, our protein powder and then unsweetened, you know, almond milk or something like that. But that's just going to, you know, give you a good baseline, so you're not turning up to these things absolutely starving. But honestly, summer is a wonderful, wonderful time to eat so many fresh and just gorgeous fruits and vegetables. You can even get creative, you know, making your own ice cream. We have a recipe on our YouTube channel using our protein, you know, if you want to enjoy like a cooler summer treat. But truly, I think it's a wonderful time of year to eat. What about you, Laura? I know you're a big foodie too.
And I agree. I actually had a salad with local lettuce for lunch and some local other produce on it, and it was delicious. And recently, I too went to one of my first things, like since COVID, where like people brought dishes. And I did not have a shake beforehand. I did make sure I ate something before I went and brought something that like I was cool with. And then one thing I think that I did that was important for me, first of all, it was weird because you're like, oh my goodness, like this is like the way life used to, what is this? But like there was like cake there. And it was a homemade cake, and like none of it was on our programs. But you know what? And I was like, oh, I really want that cake. And I asked her about it, and the woman was like, yeah, I made this cake. And you're like, oh, gosh. So you know what? I didn't like deprive myself. I didn't kick myself in the back for this. I let myself just have a little taste. And you know what I did? I really enjoyed it. Yeah. And I don't feel guilty about it. And I had it, and it was nice. Something like I know, like we had ice cream a couple weeks, you know, and like that, and I enjoyed it. I ate all my ice cream, and I had every bite. It was delicious. I mean, it was dairy-free ice cream because my son does have a dairy allergy, so it wasn't like the regular ice cream, but still, it still contains sugar and all those things. And I just made sure to thoroughly enjoy it. So I think that's my biggest advice too, is just to make sure if you're going to these things and there's food that maybe isn't compliant, and you have it, like don't. We talk about this all the time, but like don't be upset that you are having something different. Just enjoy it. Don't have the whole cake.
So true.
Like,
so true.
You can have a little bit and just be cool with just a little bit.
Yeah, no, that's so important. Mindset is so huge at all times of years, you know, all times of the year, but especially, you know, as we said, going to these potlucks and things. I think that's such a crucial point. You know, yes, I make these suggestions to you. Oh, you can make metabolic ice cream, all of these things, which are great. You know, of course you can make these healthy varieties and dishes, but bottom line, you know, if you really, really want a slice of cake at your friend's party, go for the slice of cake. I think this is really key to actually changing your lifestyle. If you tell yourself you are never allowed a piece of cake, that is when you're going to, you know, struggle with really negative feelings and guilt, and could lead to things like binge eating, where you do eat, you know, 5 slices of cake. And if you're doing that daily, then you might not get the results you want. So I think that's so crucial, Laura, is, you know, really removing that guilt and enjoying the slice of cake if you really do want the slice of cake, you know?
Yeah.
That's really important.
And that's the same thing with vacations too. Like if you get off your exercise on your vacation, like you don't have to start all over. You just have to recommit. So it's not about, you know, like just because you lost momentum doesn't mean, oh no, I'm over, I can't do this program anymore. Just pick back up where you were. If you're one of those people who feels like you have to do it the right order, like sure, we have people asking like, I took 2 weeks off, and I would just tell you to get back into it unless you feel like your body's not ready. In which case you can go back to the beginning. But like a little setback doesn't keep you from success. And the summertime is in all times of the year, really, because then we have holidays, we have this, that, and the other. There's always something that can get in the way, and just recommit. And would you say like keep going?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, keep going. We even, you know, we've seen this a little bit in MMC the past week. People, you know, going to these things and feeling a little discouraged. Do I just start over again? What do I do? No, absolutely. Just keep going. You know, each day is a new day. Each meal is a new meal. So just jump right in. Make a delicious salad, like I was talking about earlier. Add all the fresh produce, and just keep your head up, and you'll be good to go. I do want to say a really important note about summer, which I think is probably the most crucial piece of nutrition, wellness, health tip that I have over these hot months, and that is hydration. Hydration, which is massive. It's massive at all times of the year, but especially now when it is hot, you know, probably where you live, and you are working out and you're going outside and immediately sweating if you live somewhere hot like I do. Hydration is crucial. So we like to say half your body weight in fluid ounces each day. You know, just keep drinking. It doesn't just have to be, you know, plain filtered water. You could add some fresh fruit into that. You could do some herbal teas that are caffeine free and ice those. I mean, there are so many ways to stay hydrated, but please don't forget that, because I think
that's a very important one. When I lived in Florida, I have seen friends who I would run with and things like that who had problems from not drinking enough water, and it was never a good situation. So please stay hydrated.
Yes, it's a really big one. Really big one. What else we got, Laura? Anything else you think?
I think the last thing I would just want to remind people of is that this is a fun time of the year. Like, have fun.
I agree.
Be present with the activities you're doing and enjoy them, because like summer only comes once a year. That's why it's, you know, we have 4 seasons. So like every season's awesome and has special. So you enjoy, like she said, the blueberries, enjoy the time outside, the later evenings, like find the things that make summer unique and just like, have fun with it.
I absolutely love that. I think it's actually, well, it's one of my favorite seasons. I think it's a really wonderful time, despite the busyness, to de-stress. And just like you said, find joy in all the small things, the sunshine, even if it's a little hot, you know, if you live near the ocean or the lake, just looking at a nice body of water. I mean, fresh flowers, that delicious fresh produce, blueberries that actually taste amazing right now, rather than, you know, sour. All of those little things you can find joy in, and you know, reduce the stress, which is so important, like we talk about all the time on our programs. Yeah, and just enjoy it. I love that.
And I think, that's just, I think we could, I mean, unless you have something else to add, maybe we just end on savor. I mean, I think that's the advice for everything. Enjoy the program if you're on a program. If you aren't on a program yet, we'd love for you to hop on. You can message this page and we will help you find what the program that we have that's right for you. And am I missing anything I should be saying?
I don't think so. I think just if anyone has any, you know, further questions or need any more advice, you know, feel free to message us. We're here, especially if you're in our Metabolic Mastery Club. We're always here to help you. So feel free to reach out.
Thank you. And everyone, have a wonderful rest of your day or evening. And if you are in summertime, please enjoy it.
All right. Thanks, Laura.
Bye.